Hey y'all, what's going on? My name is Tamika Collins, and this here is my YouTube channel. And on here, we are reading the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Guess we is. And we on Joshua. I should have been prepared. I'm sorry. I should have been prepared. The 11th chapter. All right, so, we recap so we know what we're talking about. So, recapping of chapter 8, the Israelites defeat Ai. Chapter 9, the Gibeonites deceive Israel. And Joshua, once they found out they had lied to them, in which they didn't consult God in the first place, but asked, why did you lie, Craig? Why you lie, Craig? And they said, we were scared. But because of the oath, the promise, they didn't and couldn't do anything to them because they told them that they was going to save them, that they was not going to harm them in any way, even though they lied. And as a result, they said, hey, do what you do with us, whatever you want to. We are sorry for lying, but we were scared of y'all God, and do what you with us, what you wanted to. And they made them water carriers and wood cutters. And even to this day, they are still that. Chapter 10, the Israelites defeat the southern armies. And now we are in chapter 11. All right, chapter 11. And it reads, Joshua attacks the northern kings. When King Jabin of Hazar heard what had happened, he sent messengers to the following kings: King Joab of Madon, the king of Shimron, the king of Ashaph, all the kings of the northern hill country, the kings in the Jordan Valley south of Galilee, the kings in the Galilean foothills, the kings of Naphath Dor on the west, the kings of Canaan, both east and west, the kings of the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, in the hill country, and the Hivites, in the towns on the slopes of Mount Hermon, in the land of Mizpah. There's a lot of ites. All these kings came out to fight, all of them. Their combined armies formed a vast horde, and with all their horses and chariots, they covered the landscape like the sand on the seashore. The kings joined forces and established their camp around the water near Merom to fight against Israel. Then the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid of them. By this time tomorrow, I will hand all of them over to Israel as dead men. Then you must cripple their horses and burn their chariots. So Joshua and all his fighting men traveled to the water near Merom and attacked suddenly, and the Lord gave them victory over their enemies. The Israelites chased them as far as Greater Sidon and, that hurt, and Misrephoth Maim, and eastward into the valley of Mizpah, until not one enemy warrior was left alive. Then Joshua crippled the horses and burned all the chariots as the Lord had instructed. Joshua then turned back and captured Hazar and killed its king. Hazar had at one time been the capital of all these kingdoms. The Israelites completely destroyed everything in the city, leaving no survivors. Not a single person was spared. And then Joshua burned the city. Joshua slaughtered all the other kings and their people, completely destroying them, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. But the Israelites did not burn any of the towns built on mounds except Hazar, which Joshua burned. And the Israelites took all the plunder of the livestock of the ravaged towns for themselves, but they killed all the people, leaving no survivors. As the Lord had commanded his servant Moses, so Moses commanded Joshua. And Joshua did as he was told, carefully obeying all the commands that the Lord had given to Moses. So Joshua conquered the entire region, the hill country, the entire Negev, the whole area around the town of Goshen, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountains of Israel, and the Galilean foothills. The Israelite territory now extended all the way from Mount Halak which leads up to Seir in the south. They even give you a little map, little illustration here, so you can see what you're talking about. As far as north of Baal Gad, at the foot of Mount Hermon in the valley of Lebanon, Joshua killed all the kings of their territories, waging war for a long time to accomplish this. No one in this region made peace with the Israelites except the Hivites of Gibeon. All the others were defeated, for the Lord had hardened their hearts and caused them to fight the Israelites. So they were completely destroyed without mercy, as the Lord had commanded Moses. During this period, Joshua destroyed all the descendants of Anak who lived in the hill country of Hebron, Debir, Anab, and the entire hill country of Judah and Israel. He killed them all and completely destroyed their towns. None of the descendants of Anak were left in all the land of Israel, though some still remain in Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. So Joshua took control of the entire land, just as the Lord had instructed Moses. He gave to the people of Israel as their possession, dividing the land among the tribes. So the land finally had rest from war. Chapter 12. Yeah, I gotta free up some more of my space on my phone. Every time I feel like I'm freeing up space, it always looks like I'm not. Anyway, chapter 12. These are the kings defeated east of the Jordan. These are the kings east of Jordan River who had been killed by the Israelites and whose land was taken. Their territory extended from the Arnon Gorge to Mount Hermon and included all the land east of the Jordan Valley. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, was defeated. His kingdom included Aroer on the edge of Arnon Gorge and extended from the middle of Arnon Gorge to Jabbok River, which serves as a border for the Ammonites. This territory included the southern half of the territory of Gilead. Sihon also controlled the Jordan Valley and regions for the east, from as far north as the Sea of Galilee to as far south as the Dead Sea, including the road to Beth Jeshimoth, and southward to the slopes of Pisgah. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Rephaites, lived at Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled a territory stretching from Mount Hermon to Selakah in the north and to all the Bashan in the east and westward to the borders of the kingdoms of Geshur and Makkah. This territory included northern half of Gilead as far as the boundary of King Sihon of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites had destroyed the people of King Sihon and King Og, and Moses gave their land as possession to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half-tribe of Manasseh, kings defeated west of the Jordan. The following is a list of the kings that Joshua and the Israelite armies defeated in the west side of Jordan, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir. Joshua gave this land to the tribe of Israel as their possession, including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. The people who lived in the region were the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings Israel defeated. Ready? The king of Jericho, the king of Ai near Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Jazer, the king of Debir, the king of Geber, the king of Harmah, the king of Arad, the king of Lebna, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tapua, the king of Hefer, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazar, the king of Shimron, Miran, the king of Akshaph, the king of Tanakh, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam and Carmel, the king of Dor, and the town of Nepharth Dor, the king of Goahim and Gilgal, the king of Tirzah, and all 31 kings were defeated. Woo, that was a lot. And to get a little side note, after 7 years of the battle, Israel gained control of the land, which was then divided and allotted to the tribes. Joshua dismisses the army, for it is now each tribe's responsibility to clear out the remaining enemies from their own areas. Joshua continues to encourage the people to remain faithful to God so they can stay in the land. The promised land was Israel's earthly inheritance, but Israel also had a spiritual inheritance in which we can share when we live lives of faithfulness to God. So next we'll be in chapter 13, y'all. We're going to stop there so I can clear out some more room in my phone. I love y'all, and there's nothing that you can do about it at all. You're on the list of love. Till next time, I'll see you soon.